right, I think we're ready to kick things off. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Joseph. I oversee our MLS partnerships here at Cubicasa. So excited to chat with all of you today as we launch our partnership with Martin County and bring you this amazing tool if you haven't used it already. I'm going to be joined by Daniela from our success team today as well, who will give us a closer look at some of the tools and features available within Cubicasa. But to start out, I'll spend about 15, maybe 20 minutes with you walking through a few things. First and foremost, what Cubicasa is in general. We'll talk about the benefits of floor plans and why they're important to your listings. And then we'll take a look at the technology itself, so the actual mobile app that you'll be using, and the different types of floor plans that are available to you, including our all-new interactive floor plan called Cubicasa Tour. From there, we'll pause to cover any sort of questions that have come in, and then I'll toss it over to Daniela to, like I said, kind of dive into the product a little bit, show you the dashboard where you can access your floor plans, edit them, customize them, do all that sort of fun stuff. As we're walking through everything today, please feel free to use the Q&A function to send over any questions that you have. We'll be keeping tabs on that as we go through so we can get all of your questions answered. We'll also leave the room open at the end of the webinar today for about 10-15 minutes to allow for additional time for Q&A. I'll also be sending over a couple of links in the chat box, so don't forget to follow along there as well. Last bit of kind of housekeeping before we dive in, I've included a QR code on the screen here. For those of you that would like to get your account set up while we're together today, feel free to scan it now. Don't feel rushed. I'll pull this back up at the end of the webinar. We'll leave it up on screen for that whole Q&A time, so that will be available then. But if you want to scan it now and kind of create your account as I'm walking through, please go ahead and do so. With that, I think we are ready to dive in. So Cubicasa has one main goal here in the US, and that's to bring a floor plan to every single real estate listing across the country. So to start out, let's talk about the why behind that, what our tool is, how it works, and how you can help us on this mission to improve the home buying experience for consumers in your market. So right now we are seeing a floor plan demand gap in the US. Consumers are asking for floor plans to be included. They're already familiar with them on the rental and multifamily side of things. But when we look at active listings, floor plans are only included on around 15 to 20% of them. And if we look at the NAR Home Buyers and Sellers Survey, I'm sure many of you are familiar with this report. One of the questions that gets asked each year is what website features on a listing are considered the most valuable. And what we can see is that floor plans are the single most desired add-on for consumers after the basic of all basics. So photos and detailed info about the property are always going to be number 1 and 2. I personally don't really count it as a listing if it doesn't have the 2 of those. So we can see floor plans being in that top spot. We know the demand is there from these results here, and they've remained very much unchanged over the last few years. But why are floor plans so important? Why is this something that consumers really want to see? I think the easiest way to boil it down is that it helps them to understand the property's fit for their lifestyle. If you're on a search portal, for example, you pull up a listing, you're swiping through the photos on the carousel, you're essentially learning about that property room by room or sort of piece by piece. But when you have a floor plan available, you have that easy to view, easy to understand, quick glimpse into the entire property. So you can see the size of the rooms, the flow between them. You can learn if and where current furniture will fit. But most importantly, like I said, you'll be able to understand if the layout of the home suits your client's family. Are the kids' bedrooms near the primary bedroom, for example? Or on the flip side of that, are the kids going to be as far away from the parents as possible? Is there a dedicated space kind of off the main action of the home that could be used for a home office or a guest space? A floor plan is really going to be the best way to understand the property, to make sense of those types of questions, and can even help you to tie all of the other listing photos together, since the photos are typically just of one single room at a time. So now that I've got you thinking about the benefits of floor plans in general, why should you add them to your listings? There's a couple of key things that I like to highlight. First is that it allows you to stand out. So when you include floor plans and really just great media in general. One of the real world examples we're seeing a lot of success with is agents will actually scan the property while they're on site for a listing presentation. So not only are they showing this potential client the extra work that they're going to put in to create awesome marketing materials for the home, but then you have a really nice and easy touch point the following day when you can get back in touch with the homeowner, that potential client, share the floor plan that you actually created of their home, and go back over how you're going to use that to market the property. And plus, because floor plans are still kind of gaining traction in the US right now, it's an easy way for the listing to stand out, and then for you personally to stand out as being that sort of forward thinking, tech savvy agent in the market. And the second thing I like to highlight, as we just talked about, consumers want to see floor plans. So this is a really easy way for you to appeal to potential home buyers and can even help you to generate better qualified leads who know and understand that that particular property fits their lifestyle and what they're looking for before taking any sort of next steps. Now, outside of just the new listing side of things, you can also use Cubicasa with your buy side clients to provide them with helpful resources, help them make the decision of which home to actually move forward with. You can scan homes as you're touring. It does not need to be just an actual new listing that you're scanning. You'll be able to generate floor plans as you tour properties and additional reports, like I said, to help them kind of make the decision of which home to actually move forward with. We rolled out a new feature a few months back called Snapshots, which actually allows you to take photos during the scan as you're walking through the property. And then you'll get those photos alongside a floor plan showing exactly where each photo was taken. So this is a nice way to highlight key features in the space that maybe aren't included on the listing photos. Or the example I like to give is if you're working with first-time home buyers, for example, you could take photos of the electrical panel, the water heater, water tank, those sorts of things. Give them the visual of what that is and where it actually is in the space if it's new to them, if this is their first home. Incorporating all of this into your day to day on the buy side is not going to take up a ton of time. So, this is a really easy way for you to show value to your clients as you help get them into their next home. As a best practice, I always note if it's not your listing, just be sure to check in with the listing agent before actually scanning the property. So, everything that we've talked about thus far is about floor plans in general. How does that lead into what Cubicasa is and why I'm actually talking with you today? So, to give you some high level background, we started a number of years ago essentially as a floor plan redraw service. But we've evolved into what we are today, which is an amazing mobile app that allows you to quickly and easily scan a property just a couple of minutes to create an accurate floor plan to showcase the layout of the home, like you see on the top right there, and then be able to generate things like the individual room dimensions that you can use to populate the listing and share with potential home buyers. Now, how does the app actually work? I'm sure it's easier than what you're visioning in your head. As you can see from that image on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll simply open up the app, enter in and confirm the property address, start the new scan, and it will pull up that camera type view like you see there. From there, you'll just hold up the device, walk the perimeter of each room on the entire interior of the home. You can also include any outdoor spaces that you want featured on the floor plan, things like porches, patios, decks, anything like that. As you're walking through scanning with your device, you're going to get real time feedback. So, this will help to make the process as easy as possible for you as the scanner, but more importantly, allows you to get the most accurate scan, which will get you the most accurate measurements and floor plan as the end result. Last thing to note is that the app is available for both Apple and Android devices. Any device from the last like 10 years will work for you. So now let's take a look at an actual scan in action. Unfortunately, I can't show a live demo of my computer kind of following me throughout the space that I'm in as I'm scanning. So this will be the next best thing. I'll send over the link to this video in the chat box in just a few minutes. If you want to take a closer look, it may come through a little blurry or pixelated since we're over Zoom here. So I'll send that link so you can take a closer look. But one thing to note before I begin this video, you're going to see two separate views here. So the main view of the video is just a screen recording of the actual devices. So you'll see the app experience and then the picture-in-picture type view or the secondary view along the bottom. It's actually the woman as she's doing this scan. So you see exactly how she's holding her device, how she's kind of walking through the space to get a feel for the entire scanning process. So once you pull up the scan to begin, first step is to select the property type, single family home, apartment, condo, townhouse. You can scan any type of property. And then you're ready to begin walking the perimeter of each room in the space, scanning as you go. You'll see that real-time feedback pop up that I mentioned. It's sort of this red caution tape across the screen. If you're moving too quickly, if you get too close to a wall, those types of things, helping you to correct things along the way, get the best possible scan. You'll scan all rooms on the interior of the home, including closets like we just saw there. Once you've captured everything inside the home, you can capture any outdoor spaces that you want featured on the floor plan. We've got this deck area in this example here, but you can even scan things like detached garages or ADUs, all as part of one single home scan. Once you finish scanning, so you've captured everything on the interior of the home, captured any of those exterior spaces you want included, you'll be able to submit directly through the app, and your floor plans will be available to download within 24 hours. It really is just as simple as you saw there, holding your device and walking around the house with your phone. Now, the scanning process will work on all different types of properties. So in that video, we got a quick glimpse into a couple of interior spaces. We saw that deck area on the back of the home. I always like to show this example here of a pretty non-traditional layout. We've got curved walls in here, which are always a pain to measure. There's a pool in the backyard. There's an ADU off of the main home. All of this was captured as part of one single scan. And the same process will be true for homes with multiple stories. You just need one single scan. In those situations, we recommend starting in the basement or lowest level of the home. Scan that entire floor without pausing or stopping the scan. You'll scan the staircase as you walk up to the next floor, scan that entire floor, and so on. And then, of course, step outside and capture any of those exterior spaces that you want featured on the floor plan. Now, as I mentioned, once you've completed that scan and your floor plans are ready, they'll be available to download within 24 hours. We've partnered with Martin County to offer unlimited free basic floor plans, which we call Light, and it's what you see on the screen here now. This is a really great option to start making floor plans a little bit more standard practice when you're getting your next listings put together. It's only going to take you a couple of minutes, and the best part is it's free. This option will cover properties up to 5,000 square feet of scanned area. So that will include the internal square footage as well as any outdoor spaces that you capture. And it's available to save with or without the room dimensions included. So what you see on screen here, I know the text is probably pretty small, so if you can't read it, no worries. But hopefully you can make out that each room label here has 2 lines of text. The top is the name of the space. The bottom is the actual dimensions of that room. If you just wanted more of like a marketing type floor plan, you can remove those dimensions and just have the name of the room listed for each space within the floor plan. Now, on top of this free basic option, there are a number of optional paid add-ons that you can choose from. Everything that we offer is all created from that same 5-minute scan, so there's nothing additional that you need to do on that side of things, and it's all available a la carte. So you can pick and choose what's actually needed or wanted for each individual property that you scan. This slide here shows our 3 most popular options. Light is that free basic floor plan that we just looked at. Plus is an upgraded package that will include the fixed furniture. So you'll see things like appliances in the kitchen, fixtures in the bathrooms and wet spaces. It also allows you to customize the colors of your floor plan. So you see one of our pre-made color templates in that example here. It will include a couple of new reports that are available. So the home report, which details key features of the home, and then snapshots, which if you remember we talked about, allows you to actually take those photos as you're going through doing the scanning process. And it also includes the all new Cubicasa tour, which we'll talk about here in just a second. And then lastly, we've got Plus 3D, which includes everything from the Plus floor plans alongside, as the name implies, a 3D style floor plan. The 3D floor plan will have colors and textures matched to the space as closely as possible, and will also include loose furniture. So things like sofas, beds, dining tables, all of that will actually be on the floor plan itself, just to help better visualize that space. Now, in addition to these three kind of main popular options, there are a couple of different add-ons that you can select from. We've got the GLA report or gross living area report. This is typically used by appraisers. I'll give a closer look at this in just a moment in case we do have any appraisers with us this morning. But essentially, this will show the livable versus non-livable square footage of the home. These last two options here, so I mentioned that free basic floor plan will be turned around within 24 hours and cover properties up to 5,000 square feet. If you need the floor plan a little bit faster, that will be an option for you with the 6-hour turnaround time. And then if you have a property that goes above that 5,000 square foot threshold, there is a cost associated with those larger homes just due to the increased production cost on our end. Last thing to highlight is our line of 3D options that are available. As I mentioned, this is a style that a lot of apartment communities are already using just because it helps to better visualize the space. Plus 3D is what we talked about a couple minutes ago. That will include the actual 3D floor plan image that you're kind of looking down into. And just to reiterate, we'll have those colors and textures matched and have that actual furniture in the space. If you choose that option, you can also add on a video rendering, which will be a couple-minute long walkthrough of that rendered space. And then we have CAD files available. These will actually be both for 2D and 3D, will be included when you purchase the CAD files. But this is nice for any sort of digital modeling needs. If you're working with somebody who's going to flip the home, take down a wall, redo the kitchen, add a bathroom, anything like that, these files are awesome. They're editable. So this will be a nice way to do all of that work, digitally, plan it out before you actually go in and start any sort of renovation or even demolition of the home. Now, as a reminder, not only will you have unlimited access to the free light floor plans, you're also going to see a 25% discount on any of the additional paid add-ons that we've looked at here as part of our partnership with Martin County. You may have noticed over the last couple slides, the prices have all been slashed out. That's why, to reflect what that 25% discount looks like that your MLS has sponsored for you. Now, to take a quick look at some of those other reports that I said we'd come back to, first up is the GLA. Like I said, this is typically used by appraisers if we've got any with us today. But as you can see, it generates a simple PDF document with all of the necessary details, makes it very easy to upload directly into your appraisal software. You're going to get consistent results that are aligned to ANSI standards, so it matches exactly what you need. And even for agents joining us today, this will be helpful to show the livable space of a home. So if you have a property with, a partially finished basement, which you're probably not seeing down here in Florida, I'm up in Jacksonville. I don't think any home here has a basement. So if you have a situation like that where the lower floor of the home has areas that are unfinished, or if the top story of the home has areas with low ceiling height, this is a nice way to show that livable versus non-livable space. The floor plan is very easy to read, as you can see, green versus red for livable versus non-livable areas. To highlight those different reports that I mentioned, these are going to be included with our Plus floor plans. We've got the home report and snapshots. So home report, which you see a sample page of in the background here, will give you an overview of the property. It will have a cover page, kind of high level details about the home, and then dives into a level by level and room by room breakdown of the home. Makes it very easy to share things like the individual room dimensions with your clients. And then snapshots again allows you to take those photos as you're walking through scanning. And then you'll get a report at the end that includes all of your photographs and shows each photo next to a floor plan, highlighting exactly where that photo was taken in the space. So again, just a nice way to highlight key features in the home, or things that are maybe new to those first-time home buyers. In addition to those reports that are included with Plus floor plans, you'll also actually be able to create an interactive virtual tour of the property as you scan with our all new AI-powered Cubicasa tour. This tour actually allows you to take your floor plan that you're already creating, upload your listing photos that you've already taken, and have an automatically generated virtual tour created for you that can then be shared in the virtual tour field of the listing or via social media. It's a hosted link from us that you can just copy paste. This example image that you see on the right-hand side here is flipping through a couple screenshots of what the tour is. I'm actually going to hop over to give you the live view of that exact page, just to show you how the tour, how you can actually navigate the tour experience. So you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the floor plan itself. We've got each of these little hotspots where a photo was taken within the home. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, we've got the regular photo carousel, very similar to the way it's going to look on the listing, where you can just kind of swipe through the photos. So you can navigate from this photo carousel if you just want to swipe through the photos. And then if you look over at the floor plan, you'll notice as I'm swiping through, these hotspots change color to show me exactly where that photo was taken within the space. On the flip side of that, if I wanted to use the floor plan to navigate through the home, I can just actually click into any of these hotspots here to take me to that photo that was taken in that location. So as you can see, it's just a clean, simple experience that can be created from what you're already making for the listing. So the floor plan, there's nothing additional that you need to do with the Cubicasa scan. And then from there, you just upload the listing photos that you're already going to have for the property. We'll generate the tour experience for you in just a couple of minutes. And you'll have that link available that you can then copy paste into the virtual tour field of the listing. So that's everything that I wanted to cover in terms of, what Cubicasa is and all of the available products that you can create from that 5-minute scan once you've done it. From here, there's kind of two paths that you can take. So first up is if you want to include floor plans with your listings, this all sounds interesting to you, but you don't have the time to actually scan the properties on your own, or maybe just don't want to scan the properties, that's totally fine. We work with a number of photographers that actually include our floor plans just as part of their regular photo packages. So if you want the floor plans but can't create them on your own, you can scan this QR code, or when you log into Cubicasa, you'll have a list of local photographers that you can work with that actually include those floor plans for you. So you can still get the benefits of Cubicasa without actually having to do any of the work. On the flip side of that, if all of this sounds interesting to you and you do want to create the floor plans yourself, you do want to scan the properties, I always like to highlight our amazing support team. There's a lot of different things that you can do, a lot of things that you may have questions about as you're getting started with scanning, or after the fact if you need to edit or customize your floor plans. You can reach us at any time. We've got live chat baked into both the mobile app and desktop site. It's a little icon that will kind of follow you throughout. And then we also have a priority inbox specifically for our MLS partners like you guys, which is just mlshelp@cubicasa.com. So now moving into next steps for you to get started. First step, of course, is to create your Cubicasa account if you haven't already. You can do so by scanning the QR code, which I'll pull back up on screen here in a second, or by clicking through the Cubicasa link on your MLS dashboard. Either option will automatically affiliate your MLS membership and pre-populate that discount for you. And then once your account is created, you'll be ready to start scanning and getting floor plans for all of your listings. It really could not be any easier. It's only going to take you a couple of minutes. I always recommend download the app, do a test scan of your own home. You'll see how easy and fast the process is. You're probably already familiar with the measurements of the space, or at least have a general idea. So you'll be able to see how accurate the floor plans are as well. So that's everything that I wanted to cover on my end. I pulled the QR code back up here on the screen if you'd like to scan that to get your account created. We'll pause for a moment while I check in with Daniela to see if any questions that have come through, and then I'll toss things over so she can give us a quick look at the dashboard and some of the features that you can start using today.
Thanks, Joseph. Well, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them here in the Q&A. We did have one question about exterior measurements, and just want to make a note that if you are needing to have those exterior measurements displayed on a floor plan, or you need them included in the total square footage, to order the GLA add-on, and I'll show you here in just a few minutes where to go under your web account to do that if needed. Other things I always like to cover and questions that we typically get is how to start your scan. So I recommend opening the app, and if you are going to an area with low cell service or no Wi-Fi at all, you don't need it in order to create a scan. Simply put your device on safe mode within your app settings or airplane mode, and then you can begin scanning. scanning, we typically advise to start from the bottom floor and work your way up, making sure that you're scanning each interior perimeter of the room, capturing the wall to floor portion and any other cabinets or fixed furniture that you would like to have included. So that's all I have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to show you guys how to navigate through your dashboard accounts. So let me get my screen shared here. All
We're
right.
good.
Thank you. So as Joseph showed you on signing up, once you do create a Cubicasa account through that QR code or through your referral link within your MLS dashboard, you'll have access both to the app and the web version of your account. They're both linked. The only difference is that you are creating your scans and scanning them through the app. And once you send them for processing, they will be available under your web account, which will include additional features for you to customize or even purchase additional products if you would like. And that's the portion I'll be covering today for you guys. And once you sign into your web account, you'll always be landing on this dashboard page that I have pulled up for us here. At the top, you will always have access to local photographers within your area that do include Cubicasa floor plans for all of their photography packages. So if you're too busy to create a scan yourself, no worries. These are great services available for you that you can utilize. And below will be a list of your most recent orders that have been sent through the app. In order to click on an order page, simply click on that address and you'll be taken to that specific order page. Some key features that you will see on every order page within your account is at the top, you'll have different tabs available that will display different packages and products. Depending on what you have ordered through the app initially, you'll have different views available. But for this one, I have the Plus 3D, so this does come with the Plus colors and fixed furniture features for the 2D floor plan. I also do have the GLA to show you guys what that looks like. So this is just our general 2D product tab. If we go under the Cubicasa tour, here's where you'll be able to access that new product that Joseph displayed earlier. This is where you'll be able to initially upload any photos that you have of the property and then upload them so that we can create a Cubicasa tour for you. You'll be able to see that link generated for you when you're ready. And if I go ahead and put that on any browser, you'll be able to see your Cubicasa tour from that display as well. Not sure what's going on with mine today. Maybe it just needs to wake up a little bit, but typically, just like Joseph showed us earlier in the slides, it will show you kind of like a demo of what your tour would look like. You'll be able to navigate through all the different location markers and be able to see all the photos. If you ever need to make any kind of edits to your Cubicasa tour, so maybe you want to adjust the positioning of those location markers, or you want to be able to edit them, you'll be able to do that under the quick edit option here on the right-hand side menu. Once you click that, you'll be taken to a new order tab, and here is where you'll be able to do minor adjustments to not just your Cubicasa tour, but also to your 2D floor plans as well. So in order to make adjustments first to your Cubicasa tour, simply select the floor level you want to adjust. And on the left-hand side, simply click on that location marker. And now you'll see all of those Cubicasa tour location markers pop up for you on the screen. You can click on the one that you want to modify, and then from here you'll have different editing options. So if you click on that marker and drag it with your mouse, you'll be able to position it anywhere within the floor plan. This blue little bubble on top of it, if you click and drag, will allow you to adjust the orientation of that marker. And then on the right-hand side is your photo options. So on the right-hand side, you'll be able to adjust the order itself of your photos. So if you want to adjust what your cover photo will be, or you want to reposition your photos to kind of fit a better flow, you can do so by dragging the photos here. And you can upload additional photos or choose to hide photos that you no longer want to show in the tour. Once those are hidden, that tour marker will turn gray so that you know that it's being hidden from the final output for you. Other things that you can do besides just adjusting your Cubicasa tour is you can also adjust the floor labels as well. So for instance, if you double click on a label, this black box will appear on the corner. And from here, you can adjust the rooms to anything that you would like within your floor plan and name them uniquely to however your preference is. You can also move and adjust the labels yourself. And we even do have options to add additional labels within the floor plan as well. If you go with the plus version, you'll also have the option to even adjust the fixed furniture icons that are within your floor plan. So if you want to represent them a little bit different, either by resizing, changing them, or even just completely deleting certain icons within your floor plan, you can do so through this option. You can even add additional icons to your floor plan as well. There are a few other things that you can do, such as resizing the labels or adding measurement lines. For the sake of time, we won't be able to cover everything today, but we do have a Help Center knowledge base that we will show you where to find here in just a few minutes. That includes step-by-step and even video instructions on everything and more that I cover today with a quick edit. So if you're interested in using this tool to make adjustments yourself to your floor plan, I highly recommend checking that out later on. But once you are done making all the changes, you will simply select the floppy disk here at the top, hit OK, and then once your screen is done loading, you can simply exit out of this tab, wait a couple of minutes, refresh your page, and your Cubicasa tour or your 2D floor plan will be updated for you. Once you're ready to share, that share link will allow you to select whether you want that link to be active or not, whether you want to show the dimensions or the property address, and as well as there's an embedded code if you want to get a little bit more technical and include it within a listing website that you have or any kind of social media platform as well. The next tab we did mention a little bit ago is your GLA tab. So if you are needing accurate square footage calculations, highly recommend going with the GLA add-on option. You don't need to include it with the plus package. You can actually include it with the free light package and have kind of like your free floor plan, but with GLA measurements included. You will not only get access to this appraisal grade floor plan that you see here, that clearly notes which areas are finished and unfinished by the green and red coloring. It also will show you those exterior measurements we were talking about and show you the reasoning as to why some areas are excluded from the floor plan. On top of that, you will also be able to include those GLA measurements under your 2D floor plan at the bottom as well for both the light and the plus. Under the Reports tab, if you go with the plus, you'll also have access to our home report and the snapshot report that Joseph showed us earlier a few minutes ago. And then the 3D Products tab will house all our amazing 3D products. So this will include our 3D floor plan and our 3D video render, and if you choose to, any CAD files as well. You will notice on every tab that I've clicked on so far, there is an upgrade icon available at the top corner for you. And here is where you'll always have the ability to upgrade an order that has already been processed at a later time. So if you have a client that would really love to see a 3D floor plan after they see their 2D floor plan, then you can still purchase that under your account. Simply select the options you want, and then we will go ahead and get started on working on those products for you and send you an email notification once that has been done under your account. So that's pretty much it when it comes to navigating an order page. The next thing I want to cover is your order list and, sorry, your settings. And under your company tab, if you go under MLS membership, here's where you'll be able to add your MLS discount code if you haven't already. All you have to do is add your MLS name, your MLS login ID, select verify account, and now you'll have your Cubicasa account affiliated with your MLS. If you have any issues or trouble adding your MLS discount code, I will show you here in just a few minutes where to contact our customer support team that will be more than happy to assist you with this. Next is the billing tab. So we do bill on a monthly basis for any scans that you have paid for. There are no hidden or subscription fees at all that you have to worry about. So if you don't create any scans a prior month, there won't be any billing or any invoicing. Same is true if you choose to just go with the light for floor plans under 5,000 square feet. But if you do decide to go with any of our paid products, those invoicings will be available here. If you ever need to see a detailed view, you can select that option and you will get a breakdown of all the orders that were made during that billing period that had any kind of charges on them. And then, of course, you will receive that discount code with your MLS affiliation as well. The last thing I want to cover with you guys today is your styling. So you might have seen that my previous floor plan I was showing had different colors and things like that. And that's only available through the plus or above packages. And if you do decide to go with that more customizable option, you can create your own styles. As you can see, I have multiple styles already created. But if you're new with us, you can get started by selecting Create Style. From here, you can go through all our different customization options, such as adjusting the language of your floor plan labels, how you want the measurements to be displayed. So for feet and inches, you can choose how you want the rounding method to be displayed, whether you want to show the dimensions an area or just the area only. If your MLS allows, you can also include your own logo. And you also have the option to customize the colors within your floor plan depending on the space type. We do have default styles available that you can select from. And our most popular one is our earth tone style. You can also click on, for example, if you really want to customize the bedroom color to a specific color, simply select it and you'll be able to really customize that space to whatever color you would like. We even have the ability to add hex codes if you want to get more technical with that. You can also adjust the label text style, font, and even casting. And there is a disclaimer text that appears at the bottom of all of our floor plans that notes that our floor plans are created by the Cubicasa app. Measurements are deemed highly reliable but not guaranteed. With the plus or above versions, you can remove this disclaimer text entirely, or you can add your own if you're more comfortable with that option. And lastly, I do want to cover our different measurement methods for our plus floor plans. So we do have our plus floor plans coming with the gross internal area. So this is the square footage of everything that's interior within the property, does not include exterior wall measurements. And this is not a measurement that appraiser in the US would use. So I just want to make you aware of that. If you are needing more accurate square footage to what US appraisers and other measurement methods would use, then go with the GLA option instead. And if you don't want any measurements displayed, you can simply unselect this option entirely as well. Once you are done making all the changes you want to your style, you'll have access to it here. And you can set which one will be your default for all future orders you create through the app moving forward. If you ever need to adjust the style of an order that has already been created, simply go under your dashboard or order list, select that specific order, go to change style here, and then simply select that style that you have just created or edited. Wait a couple of minutes and it will be updated for you for downloading. So that is all that I had to cover with you guys. I hope you found it really easy to navigate your dashboards. But if you ever have any questions or need assistance, this chat bubble will be following you around the screen wherever you go. And it has a lot of helpful resources for you. The Help Center tab is something I mentioned earlier. It's a keyword searchable database on all things Cubicasa. So if you want to take a deeper dive on the quick edit or Cubicasa tour, simply type that into the search bar and all related articles will appear for you. And if you do want to get in touch with a live person, then go under our messages tab and you can send us a message directly to our live chat and someone on the other side will get in touch with you and help you navigate through any questions that you might have. So that is all I had for you guys today. Joseph, I will pass it back to you to close us out.
All right, excellent. Thank you. To start out, I'm going to get my screen reshared here, just so you have those two QR codes available. On the left-hand side is what you'll scan to create your account. On the right-hand side is what you can scan to get connected with our local photographers in your area. It will pull your geolocation, and as Daniela showed us a second ago, that will be included on your dashboard as well. One other thing to note is that I did send over a couple of links in the chat box. So a link to our help center, a link to our YouTube channel, a link to the video that we watched earlier, that how to scan videos. So if you want to take a closer look at that, all of those are available for you within the chat box. Couple of questions that I want to highlight that came through, share with the group before we wrap things up today. There was a question about with the plus floor plans, if you can make edits later on, weeks or months after the fact, once you've scanned a property. The answer is yes. So once you've scanned a home, that's going to remain saved on your account. You'll be able to come back to that scan at any point if you need to edit the floor plan. You can even get additional products after the fact. So I always recommend, if you're going to start with the free basic light floor plan, do that for every single property, and then you've already got the scan created. So if down the line, say you need to generate the GLA report for that home, or if the property has maybe been sitting on the market for a couple of weeks and you want to try something new, you can just come in, click that you want to get a 3D floor plan or even a 3D rendering from there. Just a couple of clicks on your dashboard to purchase those additional products. Nothing additional that you need to do to generate those once you've already completed the scan. So yes, it will remain saved with your account and you can come back to those scans for any reason after the fact. Other question came through, or there were a couple of questions actually about commercial properties. So the app is designed for residential spaces. That's what we recommend using it for. It's not specifically designed for commercial spaces. For those larger properties, you may run into, your device overheating or slowing down because the scan will take you a while if you're scanning, a huge warehouse or something like that. So we do recommend the app for residential spaces. That being said, if you do have some smaller commercial spaces, it should work for you. If you have a property in a strip mall or something like that, or one of the questions was about individual suites within a commercial space, things like that. For something, I would say below 15,000 square feet, it should work for what you're looking to do. For those larger properties, if you are looking to scan them, I would just recommend get in touch with us first. Let us know what you think the overall, kind of range of the space is, what the breakdown is. Is it just an open warehouse or is it tons of small office suites? Let us know what you're looking to scan and we'll let you know if it's going to work for what you're looking to do. But that's everything that we wanted to cover with you today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Hopefully, this was helpful to get a feel for what Cubicasa is and how you can actually use this moving forward in your day to day. We're going to leave the room open for the next 10-15 minutes or so. So please feel free to continue sending over questions that you have in the Q&A. We'll be keeping tabs on that. And if you think of questions later on, don't forget that chat icon will follow you throughout, both in the app and on the desktop site, and you can get in touch with us at any time. But with that, thank you again so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week and happy scanning.